Alright, let's see if we can beat Sideshow Bob. Sideshow Bob, Dr. Nick. Good hand, good hand. I think we just lead on good old Steam Vents for Serum Visions. Of course, we don't know what we're scrying for, but specifically due to the matchup, but good to be mana efficient. And good to not draw Emrakul. So bottom those. Say hello to our opponent. And get Goblin Guided. Fairly standard opening. Alright, so suspend this and leave up Bolt. And Emrakul's on top. Oh, that's terrible. That's horrible. But we shall make do, I suppose. Our start is fairly good here, other than us drawing Emrakul, so might be able to survive until Ancestral comes online. Or possibly not. Alright, that's good. We have to do this now to play around Tarka's command. And we're threatening to block Burning Tree fairly nicely. But we are kind of out of gas at this point. So we're going to need some good draws. And that's not one of them. And Hiri would have been acceptable. Alright. And nothing. Unfortunate. This Ancestral is going to be very important and need to be very good for us to pull out of this 2/2 death. Our opponent hasn't missed a land drop, so they could just have a bunch of lands as well. That is always a possibility. Well, that is about as bad as possible. It's looking grim. Let's remand. Path is something. Man, again. I should have played this so I could fetch up a mountain. Do have an island to get though. And go ahead and mana leak. And are we dead? Yes. That was unfortunate, but I suppose it happens. So we don't need Emrakul. We can win through other means with our burn. Ancestral out. Spell Snare is good. Dispel is fine. Negate isn't great, but might be worth it. Spreading Seas seems reasonable, although not necessary. Purge is good. Spellskate's good, although not great since a lot of the burn doesn't target, but it's still a good blocker. Cryptics are not that great. Let's keep an Ancestral and 3 Nahiris, I think, for our late game. And all the things that counter the burn seems worth it. Actually, Shadow of Doubt might be better than Spreading Seas, since it's an instant and we're on the play. Alright. What do we got? Sounds a little slow, but I think it's still a keep. Since we can run it, since we can actually curve out reasonably and solidly. Like Wrath is a pretty good turn 4 play. Okay. That is a problem for our hand. So we want a white source from this, and our Snapcaster isn't doing anything at the moment. Shadow of Doubt would have been amazing right then. Alright. Boar is okay. Is it worth it to certain visions? I don't think so. I'll just leave up Snapcaster and Electrolyze. Taking 5 here isn't the greatest. But I don't think I want to chump with Snapcaster because when I keep my mana up, at least I'm representing something. Alright. And we'll cycle. Yeah, this hand did not do well against 3 toughness creatures. We're gonna need a Helix. Alright, opponent has a Helix. Sure, paths are not on schedule. Alright, 5 cards versus 8 life does not seem particularly favorable for our side. But if the CERN Visions can find us a Helix, we could come back fairly reasonably. Alright, Goblin Guide. Burning Tree. And Bushwhacker? No. Alright, now any burn gets us. Spellskite. And mutagenic growth. Well, that doesn't kill us. And I don't think we want to draw the Spellskite. Alright. GG's. Our hands weren't good, but perhaps should have mulliganed a little more aggressively. Oh well.